We're calling to order this meeting of the Richfield Housing and Redevelopment Authority. Please note the attendance. First item of our agenda is approval of the minutes of the regular HRA meeting of March 21st, 2016, and the special concurrent City Council and HRA work session of March 22nd, 2016.
So moved. Second.
Well, it's been moved and seconded. Are there any changes or additions or corrections? Hearing none, all in favor of approving both sets of minutes, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Okay, we've approved the minutes. Our next item is approval of tonight's agenda.
I'll move the agenda.
It's been moved and seconded. All in favor of approving the agenda, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, we've approved the agenda. Our next item is consideration of an amendment, to the NSP Neighborhood Stabilization Program. 1, developer agreement with the Greater Metropolitan Housing Corporation for the continued acquisition, rehabilitation, and sale of single-family homes through the Neighborhood Stabilization Program. Mr. Stark.
Yes, thank you, Chair Supple and Commissioners. In 2009, the HRA was awarded $750,000 in Neighborhood Stabilization Program funds to purchase and rehabilitate up to 4 foreclosed homes located within certain areas of Richfield. In 2009, the HRA entered into an agreement with the Greater Metropolitan Housing Corporation, or GMIC, to identify foreclosed or blighted properties, acquire them on behalf of the HRA, and manage the rehabilitation and sale of the home to a qualified buyer. Over the course of the program, proceeds from the property sales were returned to Richfield NSP account, allowing for the purchase of additional rehabilitation candidates. Since 2009, 7 homes have been renovated using the original NSP funds. An 8th home is currently being renovated and will utilize the last of the program funds. The original agreement between the HRA and GMIC has expired and now needs to be updated. And just by way of editorializing, I would say that I don't know this. I suspect that Richfield did a better job of recycling these NSP funds than just about anybody else. There was never the expectation that we would continue using these funds over and over again, but we were able to, get some sales proceeds from the homes, and we're able to continue using the money.
Are there any questions for staff?
Madam Chair, I would make a motion to approve the amendment to the NSP1 developer agreement with the Greater Metropolitan Housing Corporation for the acquisition, rehabilitation, and sale of single-family homes through the Neighborhood Stabilization Program.
It's been moved and seconded. Is there any further discussion?
Just to say. I know it is. Yes.
I have a question. John, does this mean that you have some funds when the availability comes up for an acquisition of a property?
Yep, they're dwindling every time. We go out and buy a property and spend the money on rehabbing it. And so every time we do it, it's less, and I think this will probably be it.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
This is the last one that we have available, and it's already been purchased and is currently being renovated.
So I'm confused. Are we agreeing to the last item, or was it an amendment where the time ran out on the previous?
It's an amendment because the time ran out on the previous contract.
Okay.
So we just need to extend it to complete this.
All right. Is everyone clear on the motion then? Okay. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? All right. We've passed the motion. Our next item is consideration of a contract with TMS Construction for the demolition of structures located at 6421 14th Street, 7033 Garfield Avenue, 7333 Emerson Avenue, and 7533 DuPont Avenue. Mr. Stark.
Thank you, Chair Supple. I'm going to ask Karen Barton to present the next 2 items, which are related to one another.
Thank you, Chair Supple and Commissioners. The Housing and Redevelopment Authority owns 4 properties located at 6421 14th Street, 7033 Garfield Avenue, 7333 Emerson Avenue, and 7533 DuPont Avenue. And apparently we like properties ending in 33.
Yeah.
Um, The HRA has plans to demolish the existing structures on these properties and make the lots available for new construction through our Richfield Rediscovered program. The houses are currently vacant. They are currently being tested for abatement of hazardous materials. And right now, we're just looking at getting the structures taken down to reduce holding costs and negative impacts to the surrounding neighborhood and any blight that could occur by leaving vacant structures in the neighborhood. The HRA did receive 4 bids for the demolition work. The low bid was $30,400 and was submitted by TMS Construction. So we're recommending approval of the contract with TMS Construction for the demolition of these properties.
Do we have any questions?
I'll
Commissioner Gebner?
lengthen the meeting. Does this mean that they're going to knock them down, or do they strip them, or do they do whatever they want to? Are they essentially buying the houses and then making sure it's not there in the future?
They knock them down. They demolish everything. They haul all the debris away.
Okay.
They knock down the basements and haul that away. They don't just bury it, and then they have to regrade the lot and seed it.
And then they put in fill to,
Yes, fill
Okay.
into the basement,
And-
so it's
and-
level lot.
I think I asked this of you before, but does the contract say that the fill has to be of the type that a future structure can be built on?
Yes, it's spelled out in the contract, along with the reseeding and a lot of, we've learned as we've gone along, certain things that specifically need to be called out, and we've been very thorough in the contracts.
So they're not going to put in clay like they did on Penn Avenue?
They shouldn't.
Okay.
All right. Any further questions?
We have a lot of interest in the Richfield Rediscovered lots right now, so people are just clamoring to get these knocked down and get the lots available.
All right. Hearing no further discussion, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Madam Chair,
Oh,
I'm
wait,
not sure if anybody made a
we
motion.
never actually did the motion. I apologize. Thank
Right.
you. All right, so we've changed that to 14th Avenue. Is there a second?
Second.
All right, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? All right, we've passed the recommended action. Our next item is consideration of a contract with TMS Construction for the demolition of 6321 Penn Avenue, 1403 to 1405 East 66th Street, and 1407 East 66th Street.
Thank you, Madam Chair and Commissioners. The Housing and Redevelopment Authority also owns 3 properties that are located in commercial areas at 6321 Penn Avenue, 1403, 1405 East 66th Street, which is a duplex, and 1407 East 66th Street. These are all residential properties that are located in commercial areas. The HRA has plans to demolish these existing substandard structures and in a method to facilitate redevelopment in these areas. We feel that having the structures standing there are a detraction to the area, and it would be better served to have these structures down. Additionally, these houses are currently vacant and have been vacant for a number of years. We have holding costs associated with them, and they are, a negative impact to the surrounding area. The HRA did receive 3 bids for the demolition work on these properties as well. The low bid was $33,675, also submitted by TMS Construction, and we are recommending approval of a contract with TMS for the demolition of these properties as well.
I had a question. In the motion, it refers to 1403 to 1405, but in the actual contract, it says 1405. Is that because it's one building?
It is,
Okay, so it is the whole entire,
yes.
okay,
Madam Chair?
all right.
I'd just
Commissioner
like to make a
Gotell?
comment because I know that Commissioner Pat Elliott, Councilmember Pat Elliott is not here. You'd be very happy to see the house on Penn Avenue going down as we are working really hard. I was just in the offices of Tarshish and Cody, and they were saying that they're bursting at the seams, and there's so many businesses that are, Mother Duck has expanded and everything, that I'm sure that somebody down there is going to want that, even that small little parcel, if nothing else, for some extra parking for the time being until we can figure that out. But I'm glad we're moving ahead and taking some of these commercial properties that are substandard out and down.
I was having a hard time picturing where that place is.
I know there's a little house. I know exactly where it is. But I'm over there all the time, so.
I know, but is it across from Lariat Lanes?
Yes,
Yes.
kind of. Yes,
Directly across.
yes. A little stucco house with brown trim. Yep. I've asked about it before. Why is it still up? I've asked about that, so glad to see that move.
I have a question.
Go ahead.
The, this was a separate agenda item and a separate bid from the other one? Is that because it's coming from two different pots of money?
It's because it is different pots of money, and we just wanted to be able to break up the two bids because they had different requirements with them.
So is the first one is going to be for residential housing in Richfield rediscovered, and I don't see that mentioned here. Is it because it's a commercial area?
These are
Mhm.
commercial,
Yeah.
so this
Yeah,
would
that's
be
what I
future
figured.
commercial redevelopment, and ideally, these lots would be combined with other surrounding parcels to make larger lots.
All right, we need a motion.
Madam Chair, I will make a motion to approve a contract with TMS Construction for demolition of 6321 Penn Avenue, 1403 to 1405 East 66th Street, and 1407 East 66th Street.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Any further discussion? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? All right, we've passed that motion. Okay, next we come to HRA discussion items. Are there any items that any of the commissioners would like to discuss?
Madam Chair, I've had a constituent ask me to make an update on the concierge. There were residents, yeah, and I have been dealing with this all weekend long. There had been residents that went for a judge asking for an injunction so that they could stay in their apartment homes a little bit longer, and gave various reasons why they could do that. There was a ruling last week. The judgment was not in their favor, so they did not get their extension, and so they did not get their injunction to stay. However, I have had calls from some of residents in concierge saying that, they now know that they have to leave, but that they were unprepared for this, and that, they're older, they've got special circumstances, it's harder for them to be out by the end of May, which is the date. So I have made a call to the ownership of concierge, asking if they could grant extensions for these folks. And I have also made a call to Lynette Chambers to ask her to reach out to the remaining families that are there to make sure that there's communication going on to help them find homes. And she's working with them also with Veep so that they can get moving expenses paid and those kinds of things. So my understanding with the concierge folks is that they just need to go through their attorneys first to see what they are able to do to try to negotiate something with the folks that are remaining there. And as soon as I know something, I'll pass that on to Lynette and some of the residents there so they'll know what their options are. So that's the update that I have, and I'm sure I'll be getting more calls as people are trying to figure out, what they need to be doing. So sad circumstance. A lot of these people don't want to leave Richfield, and we'll miss them too.
Thank you. Any other items?
I
Commissioner
have an-
Wagner?
The presentation that we saw last week about the development south of 66th for the, for lack of a better term, a strip mall, is that the same entity that at one time was hopeful to develop that strip for the clinic that's now going to be in Champs?
Yes.
All right, are there any other discussion items? All right, then we will move on to the executive director report.
I have no report tonight.
Okay, claims and payroll.
So moved?
Second.
It's been moved in and seconded to approve the claims and payroll. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? All right, seeing no further business in front of us, the meeting is adjourned.
Thank you, Madam Chair.